Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Tea with the Duchess with me, your fabulous hostess. I'm super excited because I've got with me today Mr.Fierce, also known as the Catwalk Professor, here with me today. And oh God, I've been really trying to get this amazing gentleman to come in to the studio to have this interview, but he's finally been able to schedule me in. So hello and welcome to Tea with the Duchess.
Thank you, and I'm overwhelmed to actually be here. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Oh, you've been so busy and having to get you down here. Oh my God, I'm so excited you're able to make time out.
Thank you so much.
Right. First of all, the question that's been on my mind since the first time I met you was, how can you walk in those heels?
Well, first, that wasn't part of my image, but I tell everybody, walking in heels actually comes from up here. When I first started it, I was like, and I bought my first pair of heels. I looked at it and I was like, okay, how am I actually going to walk in this? But then I say to myself, you know what? I'm gonna practice. I was cooking at home, I had on heels. I was going to the bathroom, I had on heels. As soon as I come out from my shower, I put my heels on. Everything that I do, because I was so eager to actually learn how to actually walk in heels. So everything that you plan to do comes from up here.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. So how did you start? What made you decide to go into catwalk?
The reason why is because a couple of years back, growing up, back in St. Martin, where I'm actually from, my sister used to do the pageants. So seeing her enter the pageants, I used to be looking at her training and stuff like that. And it was quite interesting to see how she actually does it. So next thing you know, I'm starting to show my sister how to walk. You move the hips like this, you turn like this, you look like this. And I was like, okay. And then there was actually a competition, which was the Star Pick competition back in St. Martin, which I entered and I won, and then I got a scholarship to study at Ophelia DeVore Modeling Academy in New York.
So I know you've been in I don't know whether I should call it pageant, but it's like a male competition. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The pageants that I've actually been in back home was Mr. Valentine's. That was way back, and also Mr. Summer, and then I also competed in New York in Mr. and Miss Pan Africa USA, where I was first runner-up, and I also won Model of the Year Catwalk contest in New York.
Wow, that's amazing. I know you're doing so many exciting things at the moment. I seen a little clip of you on ITV, and I've seen the MTV one also. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The one that I actually did for ITV was a series which is Model Misfits and Mayhem, which was showing you everything that happens with London School of Modeling. That was 5 episodes. And then I recently did the one for Plain Jane, which is actually on MTV that could be seen worldwide. Plain Jane is actually a series that they find girls that has no confidence, and they build these girls up to go on dates, actually.
Wow, because I was watching one of you trying to teach this girl how to work, the blonde one, and it was actually something to watch. So do you have like any fashion do's or don'ts?
Just to name a few, things that I actually tell women, actually that things that I live by, is first of all, be proud of your size. When I say be proud of your size, don't be a certain size and trying to fit in another size. So that's first thing. First rule, learn to wear your size. If, for example, you're wearing tiger prints or animal prints, don't do a whole combination of everything. Say, for example, you have on a t-shirt, and then you're going to do the trousers, then you're going to do the shoes. No, we're not doing that. And if you're showing top, then try to cover the bottom. Otherwise, you do it reverse side. Never show too much at the same time.
Wow, that's amazing. When you were talking about be comfortable in your size, so what do you have to say for me? Because obviously you can see I'm big, fabulous, and and everything.
as I keep saying everywhere that I actually go, women with curves is just as beautiful as any other woman that you would actually see, or the typical fashion models that you would actually see. When sometimes I look at the fashion weeks and I just see the size 0 girls walking the runway, that is so not realistic. When you walk through, say for example, Oxford Street, and you go through the stores, you see plus size women. They are shopping as well. They're just as beautiful. If you go to the bank, the teller at the bank, sometimes you come across them. There are plus size police officers, your nurse, your bus drivers. Why should these women be ignored? And that's why I keep saying I think women with curves is much as beautiful or even better than the typical fashion model.
Oh, that's so nice. I was reading this article. I'm not going to mention the name of the actual designer, but they actually refuse to make clothes for bigger people because they don't believe their clothes would look good on bigger people. So, I mean, I know you must come across things like that. So what advice would you give anybody watching you if they feel uncomfortable with whatever size? Because some people I know are skinny, but they want to put on weight. But whoever is watching you and thinking, oh, I'm very uncomfortable with the way I look, what advice would you give them?
Okay, first of all, my advice to women actually out there that is not feeling confident about themselves, everything, loving yourself comes from within. Once you love yourself, you know what? The world is going to actually fall in love with you. Accept who you are. Whether you have curves, whether you have short hair, I don't care how you is. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you need to be happy of who you are as a person. At the end of the day, when you put your head down on that pillow, these people are not around you. You're sleeping with yourself. You need to be happy. You need to be comfortable in your own skin. Sometimes we see other people and we think, oh yes, I wish I was like her. I wish I was like her. Forget all about that. Be happy who you are. Perfect example. I'm so loving who I am as a person, and if you don't love me or like me just because of my image or whatever the case may be, tough luck with you. I'm happy who I am as a person, and it starts from that. So ladies looking at this, love yourself for who you are. If you don't love yourself for who you think is going to fall in love with you?
Definitely. That's a good one. So what are you currently working on at the moment?
At the present moment, I'm actually working with Almost Famous, which is actually an upcoming series. I can't say too much actually about it until the first episode starts filming, but that's the project that I'm actually working on. I'm also going to be flying out to Glasgow, where I'll be presenting and hosting for the all-white fashion show. There's a lot of projects in the pipeline that I'm just waiting as soon as everything is confirmed that I could actually talk about.
I know you also are a blogger,
yeah.
And you own a blog and you talk about all kinds of stuff. How did you start blogging?
How I started blogging is because I know so many people in the industry, and it's sometimes, it's good to get to know each other, as I'm knowing what you do, you know what I do, and I think the only way that I had the power to actually come across that was through my blog, and my blog is doing extremely well, over 43,000 views. So those of you looking at this amazing Tea with the Duchess, please www.fashionpoliceblogspot.com, check it out.
Yeah. And I also know that you've won the BAFTA Awards 3 times. So I actually love that show because that was where I met you. And Pauline, she's doing a fantastic job of promoting us, in the industry that people would never ever get to know about. So can you tell us a little bit about how you entered and how you got nominated and all?
Yeah, I could never forget that day. I was actually home getting ready to go to a wedding. And I was putting my clothes on, and then I got a message say, you're being nominated for the BAFTA Awards. And I was like, me? And I was like, okay. So I checked it up. I went on the website and I saw my name there. And I was just like, oh, and my body started shaking. And I was just like, okay, me. Because you know what? So long I've been doing what I was actually doing and not getting the actually recognition that I actually supposed to get. And with Pauline, I take my hats off to her. I salute her. I bow down to her for keeping such an event. In this industry, we have so much people just talking. Why? Oh, yes, we should do this. We need to do this. We need to do that. But everybody's just sitting down. So if somebody actually stands up from the crowd and say, well, yes, these are the people that are doing this. They need to be seen. They need to be heard. You know what? Let's salute that woman. Don't criticize her or whatever. Salute her. And Pauline, hope that you're actually looking for this. You're doing a fantastic job.
Wow, that's nice. I really absolutely love her. So yeah, and I'm always bigging up her East End studios as well. That's another plug, Pauline. So if people want to get in touch with you or they want to know more about you, how can they get hold of you?
Anyone just trying to get in contact with me, I think I'm one of the most easiest person to actually reach. It's via my Facebook. I live on Facebook, actually. It's on Catwalk Professor. You could join my fan page. You could follow me on Twitter, Mr.Fierce Catwalk. My blog, or email me catwalkmanagement@hotmail.com.
Wow. Thank you very much for taking the time out to come talk to us today. And I hope, you're going to love eating your cake. It's not,
it's my
yeah,
color, actually.
red velvet.
Oh, thank you so much. And it's a pleasure being here.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, I would like to say a massive thank you to Mr. Fierce, the Catwalk Professor, for joining us today. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And, the advice he gave to everyone out there, be happy with who you are. And whatever you're doing, stay blessed. But don't forget to keep watching us on www.duchesstv.com. And also check out exclusive pictures of today's show and other guests on www.brianwood.com. Thank you very much. Bye.